So as of late, there's been so many rumors circulating around Errol Spence and Derrick James to the point where they said Errol Spence fired Derrick James. Then later on, more rumors came out that Derrick James is suing Errol Spence for money that he owes him for training him. Even Errol Spence himself came out and said, I gotta find a new home. And no, he was not talking about PVC. So if Errol Spence is not moving out of his crib, the only thing he could be talking about is finding a new trainer. Well, recently, Najee from Cigar Talk, he had a conversation with Derrick James, and he asked him about Errol Spence. Najee asked Derrick James, when you speak to EJ, what is his energy like? What is his mindset at? And Derrick James responded by saying that he actually spoke with Errol Spence 3 weeks ago regarding the Frank Martin fight against Gervonta Davis, since they do have a business relationship there. But it was interesting what Derrick James said after that. He started talking about how you can't focus on the past, you only focuses on the future, because you can't look back. You can't look forward if you keep looking back. Derrick was pretty much saying he don't really know what's going on with Errol Spence for real, because he been so busy. Then later on, the only thing he really said about Errol that had to do with Errol Spence and not Frank was that he wants to see Errol Spence against Crawford again. Basically saying if he was Errol Spence, he will fight Crawford again because that's the only fight that makes sense. Now here is exactly what Derrick James had to say on the Cigar Talk podcast. Check it out.
When you speak to him, like where's his mind at, or what's the energy with
I mean, I'm focused on my other guys, so I'm really not. I talked to him like maybe 3 weeks ago or whatever, but it's like, and we talked like for Frank and Tank or whatever, but it's like, you just got to focus on everybody. You can't look back. That's the issue. Everybody keep looking back, right? And you can't move forward and looking back. You're gonna bump into everything that's in front of you.
Yeah.
Mentally, I guess he's okay. Like the fighters fight who they want to fight. If you're gonna fight, I would think that would be the fight to fight. That's what I would think. You can move in another direction, but finish that deal out.
Now I'm gonna leave a link for the full podcast in the description box below. Derrick James had so much more to say, so make sure you guys check it out. With that being said, the way Derrick James responded to the question, it was like really subliminal. If you read between the lines, Derrick James said he talked to Errol Spence 3 weeks ago, but that was only because of Frank Martin, since Errol Spence is obviously Frank Martin promoter and Derrick James, I believe, is his manager. Due to that, they had to speak. Other than that, Derrick James didn't really talk about anything that pertains to Errol Spence himself and not Frank Martin. I'm talking about Errol Spence's future. Then to follow that up with, you can't look forward if you keep thinking about the past. Yeah, it sounds like there's something definitely going on. I'm not sure if Errol Spence really fired Derrick James and if Derrick is suing Errol Spence, because that should be public record. Any lawyer should be able to find that out. But to find out that Derrick James and Errol Spence haven't talked about their future, and obviously Errol Spence's future opponents, the only thing Derrick James said, he wants to see Errol Spence fight Crawford again because that's what he will do. While knowing that this is something Errol Spence didn't want to do because he passed on the rematch with Crawford. Derrick James disagreed with that decision. He said Errol Spence should close the chapter. Therefore, there's a good chance that these rumors are true. And the fact that Errol Spence haven't debunked these rumors, that might be a sign there. One thing for sure when it comes to this situation that is not certain, if Errol Spence did fire Derrick James, clearly the money is the issue. If he was wondering what's the tension about, what's the reason for Errol Spence to do so, that lawsuit suggests the money is the roots to all evil. The money is the reason. That being said, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Switch gears a little bit. How's Errol Spence Jr. doing? Have you seen him since the Crawford loss?
No, I haven't talked to him because I haven't seen him. I've talked to him.
Right.
I've been out to concert in New York, so I haven't been here. We haven't been around each other.
Do you want the rematch with Crawford next for Errol?
I want him to, if that's what he wants, but I heard that's what he wants, and I want it for him.
What improvements can Errol Spence make in a rematch with Crawford?
I mean, I think we won't talk about it, because if that be the case, I mean, yeah, we won't talk about it.
All right. They're out here protesting, I see. Let me ask you something real quick. Did Crawford do anything that impressed you or surprised you against Errol Spence?
No comment.
Okay.